So, good morning, all of you. So, yesterday we were discussing the stereochemistry of the cycloalkanes, and we compared that the cycloalkanes with these alkanes. As we studied the stereochemistry of alkanes in FYBSc, now here when we are discussing the stereochemistry of cycloalkanes, according to the Beer's Engelstein theory, which was put forth by the scientist Beer in 1885, he proposed that these molecules are cycloalkanes are planar in nature. And considering this thing, he tried to propose that the molecule which is having the minimum angle strain is supposed to be a stable cycloalkane. But further, this was not correct. This assumption was having some limitations. And so the heat of combustion theory was proposed. And according to the heat of combustion theory, the amount of heat liberated by the methylene group of each cycloalkane was calculated for the open chain compound, which was found to be 157.4 kilocalories per mole. And then similarly, the cycloalkanes were burnt and the amount of heat energy liberated was calculated. And so some of the molecules of cycloalkanes shows greater heat energy evolved, and some shows lower heat energy evolved. And so the amount of heat energy evolved by the alkanes, which is equivalent to the cycloalkane, that is only cyclohexane. And here this cyclohexane liberate the each methylene group of cyclohexane liberates 157.4 kilocalories of energy per mole, and this indicates that it's a stable cycloalkane. And so these studies of first it was studied by the scientist Beers, then the heat of combustion theory was put forth, which tells that cyclohexane is a stable cycloalkane. According to Beer's theory, cyclopentane is the stable cycloalkane due to minimum angle strain, minimum angle strain, and this was having limitations, and that's why cyclohexane was considered. Here, the main point which was considered that these molecules of cycloalkanes are non-planar in nature and gives you the different types of conformations. And so, while studying the conformations of the alkanes or cycloalkanes, the factors are most important. And as in 1925, scientist Huckels, he separated the two isomers of decalin. And so this indicates that the cyclohexane either exists in a chair form or boat form, means which looks like a chair or boat, means it is having a zigzag structure or a puckered ring structure. And so non-planar, or we can say it is a zigzag structure or a puckered ring structure, puckered ring structure. And so in alkanes, we have studied that the two conformations, that is staggered and eclipsed, and due to the different factors, that is the angle strain or the torsional strain, means any deviation from the standard bond angle is termed as your angle strain, and torsional strain, that is nothing but the any deviation from the staggered conformation is called as your torsional strain. And so these were are observed in alkanes, but in cycloalkanes, this these are more prominent. These factors are more prominent. And so, before dealing with the conformations of cycloalkanes or cyclohexane, we will see the factors affecting the stability of conformations. And so the factors which are affecting the stability of conformations are your angle strain. The first is your angle strain. Second one is your torsional strain, torsional strain, and third one is your dipole-dipole interaction, dipole-dipole interaction. And so we will see this all the factors one by one. And so first of all, we'll see the angle strain. Now, what is angle strain? So, we have considered that all the carbons which are involved in the cycloalkanes and the alkanes are sp3 hybridized, and as they are sp3 hybridized, they are having the geometry is tetrahedral, and bond angle is 109 degree and 5 minutes. So this is the angle of the tetrahedral angle. And so these molecules, in the molecule, if there is any deviation, any deviation from the normal, tetrahedral bond angle, any normal tetrahedral bond angle that is 109 degree and 5 minutes causes causes angle strain, causes angle strain. Means we have seen that they, to acquire the stability, they must be free from the angle strain, they must be free from the angle strain. So in cyclopropane, if in cyclopropane, this all the carbon atoms are, means here this structure is equivalent to CH2, 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 and this CH2. These all carbon atoms are sp3 hybridized. The expected bond angle is 109, but the observed bond angle is 60 degree. And so 109 degree, 9 degree minus 60 degree is equal to 49.5 degree. This is the deviation in the standard bond angle, and this deviation creates angle strain. This deviation creates angle strains, or it introduces the angle strain. Means this molecule is strained. This molecule is strained, means it is, the pressure is needed to reduce the bond angle. Then second, that is the torsional strain. Torsional strain. So this, in the staggered conformation, is found to be more stable than, staggered conformation is more stable, than eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. And so here, any deviation in the molecule, means if we see that this conformation, this is your eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. And here it's a staggered conformation. Means all the hydrogen atoms in staggered conformation, they are far away. The non-bonded hydrogen atoms of the front carbon atom and the rear carbon atom, they are away from each other. There is no any interaction. And here the non-bonded hydrogen atoms, they come in front of each other. When they come in front of each other, there is a sort of repulsion. There is the sort of repulsion. And that's why this conformation is unstable, unstable, and the staggered conformation is stable. And so any deviation, any deviation, any deviation from staggered conformation, staggered conformation leads into, or causes torsional strain. Torsional strain means any deviation, means if the angle of this non-bonded hydrogen atom changes, it causes the torsional strain, or the torsional strain is seen in the molecule. And so if the non-bonded interaction, which is repulsive, they destabilize the conformation, and if they are attractive, they stabilize the conformation. Means any non-bonded non-bonded interactions, non-bonded repulsive interaction, repulsive interaction, repulsive interaction destabilize destabilize conformation, and non-bonded attractive interaction attractive interaction stabilizes conformation stabilizes conformation. Means these two hydrogen atoms which are same, when these two non-bonded hydrogen atom comes in front of each other, they will repel each other. If the two methyl groups comes in front of each other, they will repel each other. But if the two different types of atoms which creates a attraction between each other, that will stabilize the eclipse conformation. So this was the second factor. The third factor the third factor, that is the non-bonded dipole dipole interaction. Dipole interaction. So it's the attraction of the positive end of the polar molecule for the negative end of the another polar molecule. Means that the example, suppose here HF, this molecule is there. So the another molecule of HF. So the negative end of this molecule will form a attraction between the positive end of this molecule, H of this molecule, and so this interaction is called as your dipole dipole interaction. Dipole dipole interaction. Or we can just compare this with the hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen, or it is also called as your hydrogen bonding. And so when such type of non-bonded atoms, when they will attract, that type of interaction is called as your dipole dipole interaction. And so here we conclude with the factors affecting the stability of the conformations. Now we will turn towards the next point of this, that is the conformations of cyclohexane. Conformations conformations of cyclohexane. Conformations of cyclohexane. So now here we are having the molecule, that is cyclohexane, that is C6H12. Means there are 6 carbons and 12 hydrogen atoms, and moreover we are drawing the planar structure in our notebook like this, as a hexagon, a saturated hexagon. There is no presence of double bond, and so each carbon bears 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 carbon. Means here each carbon contains 2 hydrogen, means there are 12 hydrogen atoms and 6 carbons. Now, as these carbons which are involved in the cyclohexane are all sp3 hybridized, and so must have the bond angle 109 degree and 5 minutes. But the observed in this two-dimensional structure, it's 120 degree. Now, when the bond angle is going to become 120, there is going to be an angle strain. And so this molecule, that is the cyclohexane or a cycloalkane, it is not seen in the planar form. So this is the planar form. So cyclohexane exists in a is having a non-planar structure. Cyclohexane is having a non-planar structure. Means it's not planar, is having a non-planar structure. Means the structure of cyclohexane is non-planar, means all the carbon atoms are not going to lie in one plane. And so what is the situation? So the situation is that I have said in the before that cyclohexane exists in two conformations, that is the chair and boat conformation. Chair and boat conformation means the one form of the cyclohexane which looks like a chair, easy chair, that we see on the swimming pool. And so here we can just draw in this way. So this is this structure. So these are the 6 carbon atoms. So as Here this is the carbon atom number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. If you see that all these carbons or all these carbons, they are in present in this way, which looks like a chair, which looks like a chair. And so here the carbon number 1, if you see, it's below the plane, it's below the plane. C2, C3, C5 and C6. So this C3, C5, C2, C6, these are lying in one plane. They are lying in one plane. They are in forms one plane. Forms one plane. Means C1 is below the plane, C2, C3, C5 and C6, C2, C3, C5, C6 forms one plane, and C4 is above the plane, is above the plane. So this is the shear form. Means now here what is the main point that you are supposed to keep in your mind? That the C2, C3, C5 and C6, these all carbons are lying in one plane, and C1 is below the plane and C4 is above the plane. Now this may be in an opposite direction, or we can say vice versa. Means C2, C3, C5, C6 will remain in one plane, but the C1 which is below the plane may remain above the plane, and C4 which is above the plane may remain below the plane. And so the another chair form, so this becomes your one form, and then the another form can be drawn in this way, that here if you draw in this way, suppose this is your C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 and this is C6. Again here C3, C5, C2, C6, they are lying in one plane, and the situation that is C1 which was below the plane, now here it's C1 is above the plane, above the plane, and C2, C3, C5, C6 forms one plane, and C4 is below the plane, below the plane. And so we can say the situation that this may be the interconvertible structures, or we can say it may be vice versa, means either structure 1 may be present or 2 may be present. So both the structures are equivalent or same. And so this type of conformation is called as your chair conformation, because it looks like a easy chair which we see near the swimming pool. And so the chair conformation exists in two forms, form 1 and form 2, which differs from each other, that C1 and C4 may be above the plane or below the plane. Then comes your next conformation, that is boat conformation. So boat, we have seen the boats in the rivers or in the sea. So boat is having a peculiar structure. And so in this boat's form, what we will see, that either both the carbons are present above the plane, or both are present below the plane. So here this is C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this 6. So what is in common? That is C2, C3, C5 and C6 forms one plane, forms one plane. And here in this conformation, that is, we will name it as third and this as fourth. So third is in which C1 and C4 are above the plane, are above the plane, and here C1 and C4 are below the plane, below the plane. So these are the two different types of structures or the conformations which are possible for the boat conformation. And these conformations are all interconvertible. They are all interconvertible. Means this one may go above the plane and the four may come below the plane, and if this changes, it changes into second conformation. Here again the same thing, 1 and 4 may go below the plane and you will get the, but this interconversion of C1 to C2, that is from chair 1 to chair 2, takes place via boat conformation. So the interconversion, or which is also called as ring flipping, means one flips into 2, chair 1 flips into 2 via boat conformation, via boat conformation. So we will discuss all these things in the next lecture. Thank you very much.